Você já pensou na relação entre as religiões afro-brasileiras e a cultura judaica? É isso que o diretor Alex Minkin aborda em seu novo documentário, que estreou no auditório da biblioteca aqui na Unifor.
A obra aborda questões de espiritualidade e ancestralidade como parte dos seus estudos políticos e pessoais sobre essas temáticas. Nossa repórter Ana Beatriz Cassebe foi conversar com ele um pouco sobre o seu processo criativo e a importância da sua obra.
Oi pessoal, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais uma entrevista. Eu sou Ana Beatriz Cassebe, sou repórter e produtora da TV Unifor. Hoje eu estou aqui com o Alex, muito prazer. Você quer se apresentar um pouquinho pra gente, contar um pouquinho do seu trabalho?
Claro, vou falar em inglês. My name is Alex Minkin and I'm a visual anthropologist from New York. I was born in Russia a long time ago and moved to New York in '92. I studied at Jewish University in New York, Yeshiva University, and then I discovered Brazil in 1996. Something told me that I need to come back, and I did come back, and then I discovered Umbanda when my friends invited me to a small temple in the north zone of Rio de Janeiro, where amazing things happened. I come from cultural background, not from religious background, and there I found interactive musical theatrical experience close to avant-garde theater that I love. There was a lot of mystery that definitely happened there, and I wanted to come back. I wanted to study this phenomenon. There was very little known back in the United States about this. There were academic books, of course, but not much for a general audience. So I founded Tikkun Brazil, which is a ONG, it's a non-profit organization to connect Jewish travelers to Brazilian volunteering opportunities 14 years ago. And there I was connected with Brazilian Jews. I noticed that a lot of Brazilian Jews attend spiritual ceremony, spirited ceremony in Afro-Brazilian temples, but nobody talks about it. It turns out that it's a taboo to talk about visiting those temples. I became even more curious to study this phenomenon, and first I wrote articles about spirits of gypsies, of Romani people in Umbanda. And then I found what I was looking for, which is Jewish connections in Afro-Brazilian religions. First, I published articles in a Brazilian academic publication, Revista Antropológicas, with Renato Acias in Recife 7 years ago. Then a few general articles. But I always wanted to create a film about the subject because this material is very visual. So fast forward, the film that I'm presenting tonight is the fruit of this 10 years of studies of Jewish spirits in Afro-Brazilian temples.
I wanted to ask you about how this passion for cinema started for you.
I always loved cinema when I grew up in Moscow. I loved art cinema, what it's called, Tarkovsky and Bergman. When I moved to the United States, I continued watching the classics of cinema, and for me, it's one of the most powerful forms of arts, in addition to music and visual arts.
When you look at Umbanda rituals, why does that make you feel affectionate for that?
I love mystery. I love music. What attracted me at that ritual that I attended 15 years ago for the first time, first Umbanda ritual, is the unknown, is the exoticism a bit, but really I went past that exoticism factor and started to seriously study the religion. I felt that this is the very ancient way of connecting with the invisible. I appreciated the tolerance to various religious cultures that Umbanda presents. Umbanda is a platform open to any spirits that want to appear. So there is a room there for Jews, for Romani people, of course for mainstream Brazilian characters, for Baianos, for pretos velhos, for African slaves, and many other characters on Brazilian stage. I'm very attached, very passionate about my Jewish background, my Jewish history, but I'm also interested in the new ways to expand, to make Jewish culture relevant to 21st century. And Umbanda provided a very new Brazilian way of approaching my Jewishness.
What were the biggest challenges in visually and narratively portraying such distinct spiritual traditions?
The biggest challenges was the fact that it's a taboo for Jewish community to talk about it, because Umbanda and Candomblé is still considered to be a lower class, something one is not supposed to talk about, the black magic, if you will. So there's a stigmatization of people who talk about they going to the Teherus. So Jews don't want to talk about it because of stigmatization. There is a bit of worry on the Afro-Brazilian side that by capturing the rituals, they will be exposed, and because of religious intolerance, they may get into trouble. There is a problem with evangelicals these days, being new inquisition for Afro-Brazilian temples. And there are problems of that kind, mostly. People be unwilling to talk about it because of possible repercussions, possible ways of being discovered as someone doing something improper. But otherwise, of course, artistically, visually, there's also a question how to represent the mystery, how to show invisible. So in the film, you will see some mystical techniques of layering the images, trying to see inside of the heads of practitioners. When someone is dancing, you'll see some of the scenes from the temple before. There are some visual clues that I try to use in order to show the mystery of the experience.
And how did your background in visual anthropology influence the way you approached the aesthetic and spiritual layers of this movie?
Well, I wanted to capture ritual, most of it, so I decided to have this film presented from inside of the experience, not by professors talking about it, but rather through the mystery of experience. This is a rather new trend in visual anthropology. There's a saying, only a non-believer believes that believer believes. So if you really want to show the believer, someone who experiences the mystery, you don't call him believer, you don't bring professors describing, well, these people probably think that they incorporate. We don't have any of that in the film. It's all through the eyes of people who experience the mystery. So this is where my anthropological education background comes. Visually, I try to show the movement of people, so it's filmed with several cameras. Sometimes I work with amazing local filmmakers, always with Brazilian filmmakers. And visually, I just try to think if this scene is beautiful. So I wanted to bring beauty, to capture beauty, to preserve beauty in the film.
And the film is part of an international tour. How are your expectations for this experience, to people to see your movie? How are you feeling about that?
Yes, so next month it goes to Germany, and then it will be shown in the US and hopefully in the international festivals. I think it will be accepted very differently in the world because people who don't have experience in Umbanda and Candomblé, this is a very Brazilian film. So Brazilians will have very personal connection to some of the themes, but I hope that there are enough universal themes of discovery of multiculturalism in today's world, about having ancestors from different nationalities, ethnicities, different spiritual demands, just like André Feitosa, he had ancestors from Africa, indigenous Jews. So I think it's very common in today's world. So if I bring it to Europe, people there can relate to this message of how do we deal with different spiritual requests from different ancestries. so I hope it will be appreciated by spiritual seekers around the world. Of course, Jewish communities. I hope more open-minded Jewish communities will find inspiration in the new spiritual techniques that this film talks about. And I hope that this is a love letter to Brazil. So I hope that more people will come to Brazil and to Fortaleza, because a lot of scenes in the film take place in Saravá, in fact, in interior, in Fortaleza itself. So it's about, I'm working for, I'm not working for, but it will help Ministry of Tourism of Brazil. I wish they would appreciate that.
We hope to. Unfortunately, that's a wrap for today because of our time. But thank you so much for coming to our interview. And yeah, congratulations. Your film is amazing, it's beautiful, and it's really representing for the culture. Thank you so much. Pessoal, essa foi a nossa entrevista com o Alex. Muito obrigada e fiquem ligados. Até a próxima.
Viu como a Bia arrasa no inglês, Neto?
Yes, viu, Clara? E com isso, galera, a gente vai encerrando mais uma edição aqui do Mundo no Campus. Obrigado por nos acompanhar.
Não deixe de nos acompanhar aqui pelo canal do YouTube da TV Unifor ou pelo canal 14 da Alares. Semana que vem estamos de volta com mais informação. Até a próxima!
Até!